Yours is probably like Scandinavia.
Probably not.
Little known fact, I am related to the first king of Scotland.
He is not.
I am.
Is that the movie with Forrest Whitaker? No, that's the last king.
That's
of
the
Scotland.
last king of Scotland.
Gotcha. Okay, that'd be really confusing if that was if that was you. But okay. Anyways, we're here to talk about nothing more.
They have the same eyes.
They do have the same eyes.
I totally missed out on that one when I was yawning.
It's okay, no worries. You'll see it when we release this. But no, we're gonna be talking about fitness today because I'm be fitness burger in my mouth when I'm done with this. No.
I'm jealous.
So Josh is doing some stupid regimen, but it's
Yeah.
also effective, so it's not really stupid. I just say it's stupid because I'll never do it because I'm not cool enough.
Dakota was doing it.
Yeah, I failed.
He gave her heck.
So okay, so what am I talking about, Josh?
So I call it the 75 hard cult because it is. But anyways, so what you have to do every single day.
Kool-Aid.
That's what Dakota got out. So every day you have to eat healthy.
Kool-Aid.
Are you guys listening to me? Or
Yes.
you guys listening to the
Oh
sidebar?
no, I don't. This is for them, not for me.
Okay. So you have to read 10 pages in a book, drink a gallon of water, take a progress photo, work out 45 minutes outside at least, and then another 45-minute workout. They have to be at least 3 hours apart.
Be on a diet.
Be on a diet. You pick your diet. And I think that's it. Oh, no alcohol. No alcohol. So I'm on day, I think, almost 40.
You've done this before too, haven't
Yeah,
you?
I did it last year. So since last January, I've lost 40 pounds since last January.
It's amazing, man.
So okay, so where did this inspiration come from? Where did this idea come from?
It's Andy Frisella. He's this dude. He has this podcast. He had the #1 entrepreneuring podcast forever. Then he kind of changed his programming because he thought our country was going to poo, and kind of started doing more help, like getting people motivated and things like that, and educating people on what's going on. So he came up with his regimen to this kind of what he did every day, just kind of be better, be on track. And the thing is, with it too, I think it's more of a time management than anything. I'm basically get up at 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning. I have everything done, but my second workout and typically a half gallon of water by 8 o'clock. So then I can go to my work, whatever, get home, do my 45-minute workout outside, and that's really just a walk outside. I don't do weights or anything outside, and that's it.
Yeah, those arms show for sure. Sorry, that was really mean. You have great arms, sir. I'm sorry.
Dude, do you want me to flex? I'm just kidding.
Flex it, baby. Flex it.
No.
I thought that's where I was going for this. Man, I was trying to get you to do that. All right. Anyways, no, but that's awesome. I think something to be said about that is it seems like it's more about the accountability of actually doing these habits and actually creating these habits to be something that's just a regular thing and not necessarily considered a habit. It's just like, no, this is part of like the
right. And that's
lifestyle
the
I live,
thing.
right?
It's a mindset change, and then it's a hey, like you don't just stop doing everything once you're done, right? You don't just go back to what you were doing before. I started with a group, I think, of 12 or 14 people. I checked in today. I think like 4 people are still in it out of the 14 or 12 or whatever we were at.
How do you approach those that kind of like fell off the wagon?
Well, so I had started it, and I made it 31 days, and it like. There's just, I think everybody has certain pitfalls for them. Like for me, the reason I didn't was that super cold day last week where it was like -6 or whatever. By the time I got home, I was like, I'm not going outside and doing this 45-minute workout, man. Like,
And
I'm
he didn't
sorry.
tell me till just now.
I know. 10 days late, I tried hiding it, but
He was no longer active in the chat.
that's true. But I do like you were just kind of talking about, like, I think it is a little bit of a mindset shift because I'm still doing the other stuff. So even though I didn't go for that walk outside that day, I still drank my gallon of water. I read, I had worked out in the morning at the gym that day. And so it's just like, it's kind of flipping your mind into being like, get off your butt and go do something and be active. And I'm sticking to most of the stuff. Even though I fell off.
Except working out outside when it's freezing.
Right.
Cold.
Exactly.
And it is. It's like I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, but-
some days are worse than others, but
But would you say that there's also something to be said about those that are maybe not necessarily following the regimen to a T, but still doing a lot of the things that maybe they see the benefit of it, right?
Well, and I think that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, for sure. I definitely like I've lost 12 pounds since January 2nd. I have read 2 books. Like it's just like those little things that like you weren't doing before. That it just kind of shifts your focus where it's telling you like, hey, you have to do this thing, and then it becomes part of your routine, and so you just kind of keep doing it. So like I always read before bed now.
Oh, and then one thing with the books, it has to be nonfiction. It doesn't have to be like a self-help book, but it just has to be nonfiction.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't read Harry Potter. Like,
which I struggle with. Which I struggle with
They
too.
have a whole kingdom in Orlando, bro.
I struggled with that too, like at the very beginning, because like I really like fantasy books, like Game of Thrones sort of stuff, and like when I knew it was nonfiction, I was like, this is gonna suck, but it hasn't. Yeah, that
I
part
love
wasn't too
nonfiction.
bad.
I'm also a history junkie, so I love reading about that. So like right now, like I'm reading about like the Mexican Revolution.
Oh, nice.
It was never taught to me, and I'm like, oh shit, like there's a lot that went into that, and also then a lot of involvement with the U.S. Anyways, that's for another podcast, I guess. But
dude, I love history. I'll
what's
talk history all day.
What's like the biggest thing I think that you're taking away from this? You've done this already once, Josh. So what are you seeing like kind of like the increase, or like what's like the one thing you took into like, hey, I got to improve myself in this way or this form, or
Well, I mean, so also there's more to the program than just the 75 days. It's Live Hard. So there's the first 75 days, then the next 30 you can do it. You're supposed to complete it within a year. Then the 30 days is you have all those tasks and you add, I think, 3 more tasks to it. I tried doing that, failed. Then you have to take at least a 30-day break. Then you do the 75. Then you do the 75 hard, but for 30 days. And then I think you have to take another 30-day break. And then you have to do a bunch of other stuff. So there's a lot more to it than just this. But I haven't gotten past that.
I mean, because the whole point of like, I think sometimes this is
It's challenging yourself, putting you out of your comfort zone. And sorry, what was your question? I
forgot it too.
So like, what have I taken away from it?
Yeah. Okay, so you've done it once, and this is the second time you're doing it. Like, what's the one thing that you either kind of went into it being like, this is what I'm going to improve on, or this is like already easier, or like, is there anything that you kind of like a segue
that's
forward?
The thing too. So it's definitely been a lot easier this time than the first time through. One thing I started doing till I hurt my bicep, and then I had to go to because I'm old. But I put on a weight vest. So I put on a 30-pound weight vest when I'm doing walks. And then people probably think I'm crazy, but every 10 minutes I would do failure to push-ups just to kind of push myself. I know a lot of people like, well, I'm not a reader, but now I'm reading more than 10 pages. I'm going to read 20 pages. So it's still like it's difficult, but it does get easier. And then it's just pushing yourself. Like this time, like, alcohol wasn't an issue. Now I'm like, I would like to have a drink. And I mean, I would like to have a margarita, but it is what it is. I've got 40 more days.
And then we gonna get crunk.
I know, like, it's funny because
Get jiggy with it. What do the kids say now?
I don't know. I'm not a kid.
lit.
Get turn upped.
I think Lit's old too, but what we're going to do.
I guess he's the one that we should know. He's the one that has a kid. Chris, you have a kid. What's the cool slang lingo?
I don't know. My kid's going to college. Doesn't do that stuff.
Good for her, man. Good for her.
Yeah, I don't know what Malia says. But we are going to, once we're done, I'm calling it Fat Fest. So I'm just going to order some pizzas and beer, and we're just going to hang out and eat and drink and be
Dakota,
merry.
you want to just have like a fat fest in front of him the whole time?
Yeah, just like start bringing in pizza. Every day.
I went to dinner. I went to dinner with my buddy the other day, and I'm like, oh my god, that looks so good.
Next recording, we're bringing all the pizza, Chris. All right, just let them know.
Okay.
He will only have like 10 days left at that point too. So like that would
it's
just
gonna
be
be the
That's just
worst.
mean. That's just
Double
mean.
cheese, bro.
It's murder.
The melts.
But here's the thing: I eat pizza, but I eat the cauliflower healthy pizza.
That's not pizza, bro.
Whatever, it tastes the same at this point. But the thing is too, like I went to dinner with Jeff, and he's
numb.
like, it's amazing how much like healthy food tastes better,
the more you do it,
right? Because it's just like this would have not tasted good
Until you have an actual pizza and you'd be like, yo, that cauliflower was gross.
Yeah, but hey,
No, okay, so
you got to push yourself, G.
I guess-
maybe one day you'll try it.
I ain't going to the 75.
I know, you
man.
ain't gonna do nothing, bro.
No, but here's I guess kind of saying with that, the biggest thing that I have sometimes with programs and regimens like that is that people have the misconception that once you're done with it, that you're done with it. What is this program doing to kind of continue that? Like, well, this isn't a challenge. This is like habit changing, like habit changing, like / like life altering like thing. That you would kind of expect, or you can kind of explain for that. Because honestly, there's like a lot of challenges out there. There's a lot of like, remember like the Beachbody days where it's like, oh, you just got to do like, P90X and like you'll be sick, and they did it, and then they just went back to their normal habits.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is too, like, and I don't like saying that I'm not a morning person anymore. I just chose not to be a morning person. I think for me, it's that that's because I'll be honest, the last few months prior to starting, I was like sleeping in and just being fat and lazy. And because for the majority of last year, I was up early, going to the gym, doing whatever. Then if I want to go back and get another workout in, whatever it may be. And then getting back to eating healthy again because I was eating like crap. I won't lie. Last year when I started it, I was eating like poo on purpose to see how much weight I could lose. And I ended up losing about like around 30 pounds in the 75 days last year.
Yeah. Nice. Well, and to the question that you had, like, I think what they say is it takes like 30 days to build a habit, right? Like if you do this, for a full 30 days, it becomes like part of like your daily routine. Like I think that's what this program teaches you. And it's basically like 2.5 months so that it pushes you even further where you want to stick to it because it's what your body is telling you to do.
See, I kind of, I kind of hate that saying sometimes too because it puts like a time limit as to when like you can stop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like where it's like, oh, it's like a 30-day program. All right, cool. Then I'll be fine.
Well, that's
I
the
could
point.
do it for 30
This
days,
whole
right?
thing
So
is
like,
not supposed to, like, Andy talks about it all the time of it's not, you don't do the 75 and quit. I listened to a podcast the other day and he like was going off about like having a fat fest. And I was like, I get it for the most part, but I mean, you can have a day.
No, for sure. You can reward yourself with things.
Right,
I mean, it's like buying that PS4, that PS5 that I just shouldn't have bought. But I was like, no, like I deserve it.
But it's also like it's like you're on day 76 and it's like, well, I don't want to stop. I want to keep going. And like for me personally, like I actually have like a 6-pack now, which I have never had. So I'm like kind of stoked on that.
Yeah. Prove it.
Speaking of flex.
Yeah, flex. If you're gonna flex something, bro.
Not even a little bit.
Oh, the camera's right there. It's 4K, man. You got it.
Nope, not even a little bit. So.
No, man, I'm proud of you, man. Honestly, like it is one of those things where it comes down to just the dedication and the accountability more than anything.
Yeah, and that's why like I put it out to like all of our realtors, a bunch of my friends, and it was like, and I think we had like 12 or 14 people sign up out of the hundreds of people, but it's good because it brings that camaraderie with folks, and it's like, well, you'll be out in the freezing. Like Josh Benedict, one of my good buddies, is like always posting with his kid, and it's also too like you can bring your kids on your walks, not when it's like -7 or whatever. But
no, do it.
It's good. It's good time for that. Malia hasn't been as amped this time, but last time she went on a lot of walks with me.
Yeah. That's just an excuse to spend time with your kids and stuff like that. No, man, I do applaud you because I honestly, at the end of the day, I think a lot of it is a mental mindset. More than anything, it's not anything physical when it comes to these specific moments of trying to change your life. It's all a mental gate that I think that we all have of just saying.
Can I blow your mind?
We can't do it.
Everything's mental.
Not everything.
Everything is mental.
Floyd is forever, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
I think he's talking about Pink Floyd.
There you go. Yeah.
Thanks, Chris.
No, but just I mean, because the thing is I think people think of the exercise aspect of it and not necessarily like, what am I going to do to kind of overcome that? Like one of the biggest things that I'm working on right now, and I think it's kind of in the similar boat, is the work isn't hard. It's just doing the work that you don't want to do.
Right.
So it's like literally taking that first step and then like going next and just keep on going until you just learn how to walk. That's,
right. No, I mean, it's the same thing like.
So it's just like, how do you kind of, and I applaud you for being able to just consistently do that. That's kind of what I wanted.
Yeah, I like how you touched on that because like even in my job, it's like we call a lot of people and we do sales and stuff like that. And it's not hard. It's not like physically tolling. Like
mentally exhausting.
When I used to do manual labor and I'm like, and some days I miss that. I don't lie, but it's just like, you just got to go in and do the work.
Yeah. It's not hard work. There's no such thing as hard work. It's just more of just working to get to that point. Right.
But yeah, I think everything's a mental aspect too of it. And just like, I don't know, my morning routine's changed and it sucks, but it is what it is.
I tried, man. I like my naps.
I've conceded that when you went to bed at 2 a.m. and
yeah, you have a completely different lifestyle than I have.
Oh, I know, but still, I've had to wake up like at 6 a.m. recently, like a lot. And I'm just like, I hate all of this so much.
But you can,
and I work out like at 9. I was like, I feel great, but I still hate this.
You can choose to be a morning person because I used to not read. And I used to not get up in the morning. Like I almost quit college basketball because I'm like, I don't want to get up at 5. I don't care. You make me run, make me do all the other crap. Just getting up at 5 just crushes me.
It's literally, like I said,
it's like, why can't I do this at 10?
But because you have classes and all that. Well,
and then going back to this like becoming part of your lifestyle, like you kept reading even after you
I read all the
75
time.
hard. You're always like, hey, read this book, and we're like, okay.
Like it's funny because I was talking to my dad and he's like, you read? I'm like, I read constantly.
Yeah,
dude, reading is the best way to learn. To just learn, and not even to learn, just to get away from shit.
Yeah,
stuff.
That's why I like the fantasy stuff.
Well, like when you talked about I bought a history book about like Vikings. I was like Vikings, but I couldn't get into it. Like I love history, but like reading about history, I can't do.
Dude, I can do it for sure. And that's the thing is, I'm actually trying to like push myself to get to the point of Ernest Hemingway. That's like my next big book is from whom the bell
Tolls.
Yeah. I tried reading it before. And I was
Isn't
like,
that a Metallica song?
That is a Metallica song.
yeah, but it's actually a book before it
That's
was
Hell's
Metallica.
Bells.
Well, I'm sure that's probably what they
That's ACDC.
No,
I thought you did that on purpose.
Nope.
But yeah, so that's like my goal. So I get that.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So make sure you guys check out 75 and Me. No, that's 23 and Me. Sorry, 75 Hard. That's what it is.
You should rename that group chat.
They check your DNA and they give you a diet plan. That's what it is. No, make sure you guys check it out. If you guys have any questions, obviously ask Josh. Josh would be more than happy to kind of give you guys the right way of how to doing that.
And there's Andy wrote a book on it, so a plug
Who
for
is it
him.
again?
Andy Frisella.
How do you spell Frisella? Sounds like a pasta.
Friscella. I love listening to him because he's kind of a no nonsense guy, and he literally came from nothing and created a $1 billion company. So it's a pretty cool story.
Cool. All right. Well, make sure you guys check it out. And if you guys have any questions about loans, which you didn't talk about.
Oh,
once
we do
in this
loans?
episodes, yeah. Make sure you guys reach out to these guys at
970-460-6677.
or at
Omar at
www.
nocolending.com.
Omar at nocolending.com. You guys make sure you guys give him an email, give him a shout, and make sure you ask for his 6-pack because he definitely has one. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Shout out to Lorinda. Hope you guys have a good one. We'll see you guys again next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Peace.